The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Welcome to another edition of Table Topics. Carlos, how are you today?
Good. How are you? And welcome for another show of the Table Topics. We will be here next week for another show. We did not have a show last week, yeah. So you probably watched the repeat show last week. But we're back for another edition and another show. I'm probably in a couple of weeks, coming back online again with our Portuguese show.
Cool.
I did find somebody that will be able to do the show with me in Portuguese. So cool. I'm bringing the show back. Well,
you're going to do a live thing in Portugal with the person? I know they'll be here in the U.S., but you're going to be able to do that?
We may do it something from there.
No, I'm talking about the Portuguese version.
Oh no, yeah. Yes, I can contact them and we can do live tape from Portugal. Yes, but what I was speaking is we did last 2 years ago.
Yeah, we did a Facebook thing.
We did a Facebook thing, so we probably could connect with Steve and probably
maybe
through Zoom or connection or whatever, we could probably do something. Good. Depending on the hours, I don't know where we exactly going to be.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if we're swimming on the hot spring water there.
Yeah. No,
did you pack your Portuguese flag already?
No. I'll bring the towel I have. It is the flag, same thing.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Guess, right?
That's what I'm talking about. The towel.
Right. See, I still got it. I got it. It's not disappeared yet.
So, a couple of things that I want to talk about on our show today. The Flint renovation meeting, public meeting
were you
that
there?
we had. Yes, I was there.
All right, I read
Very
that in the paper.
quiet on the corner because I like to let people talk and express themselves, the frustration that I feel. So, and it's so nice when I sing the song for 3 decades, and finally I see people singing the same song, and we like a choir now.
Yeah.
Okay, so all on the same tone, saying the same things.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's not just me; it's business people and residents of the neighborhood saying the same thing. And I want to thank Kate for the interview. We did an interview today for the news here, for the show that he has here on Channel 95. And I was able to bring up my frustration with all of this. And did you attend any of the meetings?
No, I was just reading about it today in the paper. So I don't know if it's on the paper version tomorrow. I looked at it online. So it didn't, got into a little bit of the people that were there. But yeah, it really didn't get into too much. I didn't even know that was happening. So, it was something that I don't know if
So this is part of that $1 million that was appropriated couple of years ago. And they're trying to bring that neighborhood doing something and invest on the neighborhood. My problem is, and being around for 3 generations, remember, I dropped my bags on Alden Street on February 15, 1988.
Wow.
So that's how, I'm trying to tell you how old I am.
Yeah.
So if you counted, it's been 34 years.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
Out of those 34 years, 32 years, I'm involved on the neighborhood because I was here already for a couple of years when I met Kathy Assad. And from there, She gave me the hand because she saw the potential on me and how I love the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And she said, here's the young guy that's gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. And I started attending city council meetings with her. I started attending roundtable neighborhood meetings with her. And she started to introduce me to people, even when I was my English was really, really bad. I could understand a lot better than I could speak. But, and I still don't speak right today. But, so here's the thing, and we can spend as much money we want on a poor neighborhood. The first thing that we have to identify, we are a poor neighborhood, okay? You can plant gold trees in a poor neighborhood. It's not going to make that neighborhood richer.
Yeah.
They probably will steal the trees.
Well,
okay?
Yeah.
To survive.
Yeah. Well, the whole aesthetic portion of something in the city, and I know that's something we fight about here. I think aesthetically, if something looks better, people feel better. Mm-hmm. So, an example, go to the Highlands. Granted, there are nicer houses there, I get that. But you look around, the houses are spaced apart more. There are trees, there's landscaping, where when you're in the city, the middle of the city, there's a sidewalk, that's all that's there. So you get this like concrete hard feeling in there. But if you can improve the aesthetics of the area, it helps.
But doesn't matter, could be just a field. But if the field, the grass is cut, and it's no debris, it's no trash, it's a better land of field that if the grass is as high as you and full of trash, bags of trash. Yeah. So that's the thing, and that's what I try to tell people. Half of the Flint problems could get resolved if the city followed the ordinances. Okay? We have ordinances.
Yeah, well, that's the whole city, Carlos.
But no. You don't see buildings bought up in downtown.
No.
You don't see graffiti that's 20 years old. Okay? You see it on the Flint. Yeah, and you see it on the Flint because the government and the mayors total abandoned that neighborhood. They total abandoned the neighborhood. They even remove the trash barrels from Pleasant Street. That's how much they abandoned that neighborhood. And it's not fair. It's not fair because those people own those properties. They pay taxes just like every other neighborhood. But we got new flags when they got old from South Main, and they buy new flags to South Main, so we got them on Pleasant Street. Okay, that's when we got new secondhand stuff. Yeah. That's when that happens, So that's why I said we have ordinances to remove graffiti. Yeah. Why don't we follow those ordinances? We have ordinances for abandoned cars and driveways. Why don't we follow those ordinances? If we clean up and follow the ordinances, half of that neighborhood's problems will be resolved.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be devil's advocate now. Okay. So I think if there's sometimes there's things in my neighborhood when I'm walking my dog that I see, and people live right around that. So if they're not going to say anything, living right around it, why? You know what I mean? Obviously, it doesn't bother them. So I see in every neighborhood, mine as well. I see with 4 or 5 cars that are abandoned in people's driveways. You know what I mean? Where you can tell the plates are all off it. And there's junk and garbage in there. If the people that live directly around that, and if it was me that lived directly there, that brings in mice, rats, I'd be calling. But if the people that live in that direct vicinity, if they don't care, you know what I'm trying to say?
Well,
it's advocacy because we know by neighborhoods.
I understand that, but you know me, and you know I'm a complainer.
Well, no, and I
complain.
I get your...
And I complain, and nothing's getting done.
I get that. I think that what happens is, are there going to be neighborhoods where you're going to get, like, say, the Highlands or the North End? Yeah, they're going to get a lot of attention because you got people there, you know what I mean, that they are paying probably more taxes than the other folks, but they're people that are in the know as well. So we know that. But will that happen on Highland Avenue? Will there be 4 abandoned cars? No, because the people that live all around that will be complaining nonstop. You know what I mean? So it's part of. I hear you. You're frustrated because you're always out there banging your head against the wall.
Well, it's not just me. I mean, it's the business. When something, they got so burned during the years, okay? And I got so burned during the years. Every time that somebody wants to run for office and want to contact the business, they contact me, I bring them around, and they do their speeches, they do their promises, and again, the people trust them, and again, the people vote for them, and then they got in office and they forget about it, okay? Yeah. Well, this mayor, this present mayor, okay, he worked with me a week before elections. I never got a call to walk Pleasant Street again. Okay? So why didn't we follow again? This was like this was what I showed you last time, and guess what? 2 years after, still the same. Yeah. Okay? So that's the frustration is the people got lied so much that they don't believe it anymore. So now comes this that actually that I can see a light on the end of the tunnel because we are dealing with state money, okay, not with grants that we're going to apply. Yeah. That's guaranteed money, okay, but people don't show up. People don't believe it. People don't care. People go to the first half an hour of the meeting, they break it, and when you come back, half it's empty. Half it's gone. Yeah. And when they come by me, they say, Carlos, this is the same thing. I don't believe anything these people are saying. Carlos, I don't believe anything these people are saying. You know, and it's frustrated because you work so hard and you say, you know, this time's going to work. You convince them to go there, and they got lost during the meeting because they hear the same thing they've been hearing for years. And that's the frustration.
But, you know, that's at the state level. That's also at the federal level. You know what I mean? That's happening. And I'll give you an example, not to go too far off, but I'll give you an example. There is our state senator, our state federal senator wants to pay off people's student loans. Well, that's great. Absolutely great, right? That's how they're going to get votes. But what about the people that paid their student loans? So what are we doing? We're going to pay that off, but people that paid their loans, what do they get? Nothing. That's what she's trying to say. So it's all, we know it's all about votes, no matter where it is. And yeah, I'm just very disillusioned with a lot of things. So I shouldn't even be talking anymore.
Here's another thing. For the best thing for poor neighborhoods that actually move the neighborhood is jobs. To make sure that everybody has their job. They probably cannot afford a steak every day, but if they can afford a steak once a week, it's already good living. Okay, so for poor houses. But here's the thing: this city, and you heard this, not just from me. This city, it's not business friendly. This city is not events friendly. Okay, this city don't help people that want to open business. Okay, and if you don't have business, people don't have jobs. And people cannot afford to pay high rents.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You know, just something popped in my head where you were saying that. There are like some pretty successful businesses in the Flint that have been around for a while. One, Sam's. I wonder if anybody's ever talked to them to say, you guys have been here. And people from, Rhode Island, New Bedford, Taunton, if people have moved away during Christmas time, you have to stand in line to get your stuff there. So I wonder if anything's been looked at to say, hey, you guys have been here for years now. What do you kind of look at as successful?
I give a very successful 2-generation business.
Yeah.
The Flint breakfast.
Yeah.
The Flint restaurant.
Okay.
Shut down last December because the daughter from the original owner retired, and the kids didn't want to keep going.
Yeah.
So that place, it's closed now and needs to be renovated before could the door open again.
Yeah.
So how long are we going to have another business closed now until the whole building gets renovated? So if it was working until now, what's the difference? to keep the door open on the new people.
Yeah, but a lot of times that stuff happens, and it doesn't make any sense. I agree with you.
It's red tape. It's red tape.
It's a lot of times it's a state law, or you know what I mean. There are different things that once things happen, it can't go back.
You heard this before. If you approach the city of New Bedford with an idea to open a business, they will open the doors for you. They will walk through that city hall, everything that you need to get signed. Yeah. They will open the door for you to get those permits that you need.
Yeah.
In Fall River, they hand it to you like it's a favor. Here, you need to call the inspector and get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not.
But Carlos, I totally agree with you. However, all we have to do is look at the city council. You know what I mean? In the city council.
Well, it has to start from somewhere.
But what I'm trying to say is all we have to do is look at that. When they talk about bringing people on, they don't want to pay them a certain amount of money. So like me, say an economist, and that's what you need here in Fall River. And I get the thing, you're only going to make 70, but I can go to Somerset, or I can go to Freetown, or I can go to New Bedford and make 100,000. Where am I going to go? That's just common sense. So until we get out of that business of like nickel and diming every little thing, we're not gonna get anywhere. And that's been part of the problem here. The other part of the problem that New Bedford's a lot more successful at the waterfront is because they took the mantle and got that national park designation in there. That brings in a lot of federal money to that whole area there. So that's really helped that area more than others. But there are things here in Fall River that, you know what I mean, it's a different kind of thing here. So we have a nice plaza that New Bedford doesn't have. New Bedford doesn't have a Starbucks. They are getting one finally, but we were the first ones to get that. And when Starbucks comes in, it kind of changes the whole environment. We've got a lot of stores that we could never get before. So they've been successful at that point. But the waterfront in New Bedford and the restaurants in New Bedford, I go to the restaurants in New Bedford a lot because I like them. And you feel like you're almost going to Newport on the waterfront because it's really nice, you know. And we need to do that. I don't understand why we can't.
Exactly, and that's another thing. For 30 years, I've been hearing people get elected for office with promises and ideas for the waterfront. And 30 years are gone, they did nothing. You get into the waterfront, what you see, it's the new 79 with more traffic problems than it was before because they put a light on top of a light. Okay, so with more traffic, okay, they even make it worse when they take the people from the highway. If I come from Home Depot, I prefer to go up and take 195 than come down by 79 because I'm going to be stuck on a battleship.
That area is going to, you can see the development there. There's a new high-rise that are there, a mini high-rise, 6 stories. There's going to be one right next door, and the train station's there. That area is definitely...
But if you get in there, John, you look at the waterfront, where is the dollars spent in there? We have billions of dollars already spent on the waterfront. And you look at the waterfront, you don't see nothing. Where is this money? I would like to, this is funny. I would like to take a look. What was planned for that little cashier?
I don't.
Over there on the lights. I would like to see what that was supposed to be. That we spent probably $100,000 to build that.
The brick thing there. I know.
Thing before you turn down to the gates of the city.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a kiosk there where they could have tourist information. I don't know what happened with it. I think something happened with the planning, and then you couldn't do it. But I know that's what that was supposed to be.
But that's the problem we have. It's just like Salvador Travasos. We spend $1 million on the field that we cannot use. We spend probably $100,000 probably. By the time that you put the new lighting, the CDA put $30,000 in lighting there, and we put the sprinkler system, and we put the new grass, and we spend $100,000 in a field that we are not using. So that's why I'm saying, you know, who does these plans? Who accepts these plans? What is the vision?
Well, I think, and this has been going on for a while. You're right, the waterfront thing there. The waterfront thing, I remember that being a sunken boat where that new area is now. But we got to look. We're in a state that is very environmental friendly, which I get. So am I. But sometimes it goes over the top. So there were so many things that had to be remediated in that area that the people that were there before, they were grandfathered in. So it was like pulling that boat out. Then they found this carcinogen there. They found this, and it can go on forever. Same thing with the trains finally coming here to Fall River, but people were complaining about an area in Bridgewater or wherever that there was a tiny turtle that crossed the tracks. All right, I get that, totally get that, but then you have cars sitting on 24 in Raynham and Taunton for hours sometimes in traffic. You know what I mean? We don't have a common sense looking at this thing, you know, and I'm going to just end with this on this topic is that where everybody's so environmental friendly here, this is one of my pet peeves. It's not only here, it's no matter where you go in this country. Gas is $4, $6 a gallon, but you'll go somewhere, and I was somewhere today bringing a pet. I sat in the car waiting for the pet to come out, and there's 2 cars on both sides of me with their exhaust totally messed up, and they're running the cars for a half hour. I had to actually, after 15 minutes, back my car up because I couldn't stand sitting there with my windows down, whether up or down, with all their exhaust coming out. But they'll be the same people, like environment, but they're doing the total opposite. So we're not like looking at things common sense wise, and that's what happens in this state. We think we're bad here. Go to California. See what California deals with.
Well, on this waterfront, I'm going to end it with this. I think that the money that we invested on the train, we should have invested on the waterfront and get the waterfront updated for tourism, to get tourism ships there. Yeah. That's my opinion, coming from a waterfront that we got 2-3 a day.
Yeah. No, you're right. And Newport has that. We had ships come in here, cruise ships at one time. I think we got to do a better job at saying that we're a safer city than what we say. All right. So now, I remember when we used to be on this neighborhood scout, the worst 100 cities in the U.S. We're no longer on that. Why aren't we touting that? We need to say we are a safe city compared to everything else around us. We're a safe city. When people feel that and see that, you're going to get people to come in. People don't want to go on vacation. If we're going to the Azores, right? If I go into Punta Delgada and people are harassing me, which they don't do there, where they do this in this country, I'm not going to want to go there. I want to go and escape from where I am now. So until we can get to that point and really tout that it is, overall, it's a safe city.
Well,
we have our issues?
But I have to tell you, I had gone in cruises that I get transferred to the hotel, and it's all inclusive. Yeah. Okay. And I pray for the car not to break down.
Exactly. No,
because I'm safe at the airport. I'm safe as long as I'm on the ground at the hotel, at the resort. I know I'm safe there. But on the way there, on the way back, I pray to God that the car
and that's a little different.
Stall.
I wouldn't go there. I don't care how nice the place is, because if something happens, right, you're this island here, and everybody's, you know what I mean? All the crime.
Those vans better be better prepared with like window shields and.
Yeah, that's why you're a little bit more adventurous than me. I wouldn't go to some place like that. And I know there's a lot of islands that people go to that it's like that, and you can keep it. You know what I mean? I want to live a little longer.
And we like the outside and everything, but one time we pay for a tour, and we were supposed to walk, but we won't see nothing. So we had to go to this islands of the Woman Islands.
Island Morales. Is that what it is?
Island of the Mujeres or whatever.
Yep, I've been there. Yeah. That's off Cancun.
Yes.
Yep.
So you walk into this trail. I turned around. I said, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get there. Yeah. I don't know what's in there. I walked plenty. I already walked enough, and I turned around and I came back. I didn't say no. I don't care. You keep the money.
I like that better than Cancun, but that was 30 years ago, so maybe it's changed. But
it's talking about the ships going into unsafe places.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, no, you're right. There's absolutely.
So. Before we ended the show today, very quick, did you watch the park board, this last park board?
I think I did watch the park board. Did I watch? I think I did.
It was very interesting.
Oh yes,
because
it was.
we have somebody on the board.
It was very interesting. I know.
We have somebody on the board that belongs to a neighborhood. Okay, but she cannot get anything accomplished by herself. Has to be the city employees to do it.
Yeah.
But she got very upset when the board wants to work with these organizations that want to come in and decorate.
Yeah, well, I did see that, but I want to actually give a plug. I know we only have 1 minute left. I wanted to give a plug to a city employee that was there, Chris Pirano, who's with the Cemeteries and Parks. I've spoken to Chris just probably in the last month ago or so on a tree planting, and Chris has been doing a fantastic job in his capacity, so kudos to him.
Well,
he was at that
next
meeting.
time you see Chris, tell him to remind him that Carlos talked to you 2 years ago about the tree. The tree's still there and still growing.
All right, well, I'll tell him. So, Chris, sorry, you got partial kudos on this part. Anyway.
I was not done yet because I never crossed roads with him again, so that's why I didn't remind him. He probably forgot all about it. But anyway, Michelle already gave us a couple of fingers. I think yes, you see, 2. Right. She came down from 3 to 2.
No, yeah, I thought it was down to 1, so maybe I know she's going to do some finagling this time, so we can probably cut
I think that's our show. It's so much going on. Everything's coming back. Beautiful weather. It's coming around. So.
Hopefully.
And we're getting closer and closer to get into that beautiful waterfront.
I know. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see.
And a nice hot spring water so we could relax.
Good food.
And forget this coronavirus and calm. And
you know what I mean? Everybody's
nice breakfast in the morning.
Relaxed.
Looking at the pool outside.
I know. I'm going to actually try to go to Madeira this time. I'm going to see if I can do that in a day. We'll see.
Maybe we need to plan a trip to Madeira. I would like to go there for New Year's. New Year's, it's very good there. Cool. So, and we're done for one more show. See you next week. Thank you for watching.
Have a good night.